Right, so I'm going to talk to you about how a 54-year-old chiropractor got back into medical school in the Caribbean island, because that's a question in terms of how do I get in, what do I need to do. So if you're a healthcare practitioner or you've had a degree in health sciences, then that's going to help you because you're going to need your prerequisites. So for me, I had a exercise physiology degree with kinesiology, physiology, biochemistry, anatomy. I also had a psychology degree, but I also am a chiropractic physician. So, however, the thing was, I took that 20 years ago, and the school wants updated transcripts. So what I was able to do was I was able to show my CEU credits, because as a licensed healthcare practitioner, you need to have renewal for your degree or for your actual license. And so I was able to show that, and also I was always pursuing continuing education in nutrition and other sources. I had a actual functional medicine curriculum that I was able to show that. So I was able to do that. Now, I contemplated going to school in the US. There's a school right by my house that is basically 5 minutes away. However, they would not have accepted my transcripts from my continuing education credits. I would have had to take more, which to me at this point in my life is impossible. On top of that, I would have had to take my MCAT, and not that I didn't want to, but again, timing wise, for me to take the prep course probably would have been 6 months. Also on top of that, another $5,000-$6,000, and again, I just didn't have the time. So when I was searching for my medical schools in the Caribbean, ultimately I was limited to the different ones that I could go to, because not all of them do not require your MCAT. And my understanding is the reason they don't require your MCAT is because their percentage of mature students is higher. So they want to make sure, like people like me, they can overcome that objection. Now, how do they get around that? They get around that because A, they interview, you have to have your curriculum or your prerequisites. But my understanding is this, is that if you're not federally funded, meaning you have funded loans, governmental loans from the US or Canada, then you're able to not require an MCAT. Whereas if you have government-backed loans, then the MCAT is a requirement for that curriculum. So I was basically able to, now I knew going in to the January term that I started this year, by about, let's say June, that I was gonna come here. But I have some classmates that sort of on a whim, a nurse, for example, made the decision, you know what, I'm gonna go to med school. She figured this out in November, I wanna say, or maybe even September. Now, she was a recent grad for a nurse, so she had her prerequisites, and she took the interview, which in my opinion, the interview is like, okay, do you have a head on your shoulders? Do you make sense when you talk? Do you have the prerequisites? Why are you wanting to do this? Okay, you're through, kind of thing. So that wasn't too rigorous. Now, I will also say that there are a lot of mature healthcare practitioners in our class, like paramedics, nurses, PAs. I'm the only chiropractor in our class, but I go to St. James School of Medicine, and so far I've been very happy. There's pluses and minuses that you can see on my video, that on my YouTube channel that I talk about, but that is how I became, or how I had the prerequisites, or what I needed to do to come to the Caribbean Medical School.